Hi guys, let's talk about transferring your images. So you have your little sketch, you know what you want your block to look like, but you have to bring it now to your actual block. So what can you do? Well, there's at least 3 different ways that we can do this. The first one, and the most obvious one, is to just go ahead and redraw your image just directly onto the block. You can do this in pen, which is probably the best way because the pen is really nice and smooth, goes on easily, and is actually erasable. If you just put a little bit of this Purell stuff on a Kleenex, you can erase it pretty well. The only problem with this though is that it like really smudges. So see how little that took, and it's completely smudging off. So be careful with that. If you want to erase in little areas, see, you can tell that I erased here because it's still kind of a blue cloud over here, but it does come off. You can also do this in pencil, but the pencil is more permanent. Really nothing takes it off. You could try some of that Purell, but it's not, yeah, it's not going anywhere. You can't even really erase it off. So pencil's more permanent, but pen you can play around with a little bit. Okay, so that's just direct redrawing. Another idea that we can use is to do kind of an image transfer where you try to get some of the graphite from here onto here, okay? Now, what I used is a 4B pencil, something really soft and sort of smudgy, to go over all my lines. And I'm kind of making them a little, you know, like I said, smudgy. I'm using more of the side of my pencil. Once that's all loaded up with the graphite, you can come in here, flip it, and just push down. It's not going to be perfect, but it gives you enough of a guide that you can kind of come back and redraw everything. Now the problem with this though is that you're going to get a double flip. So let's see. Ooh, see, that's kind of good enough. I can go from there, right? Okay. What I mean by double flip is, see how on this one, when I drew it, I drew my lettering backwards because I know that when I go to print it, it's going to print the right way around, right? Well, if I'm flipping it first by flipping it like this, and then to make my print, I'm flipping it again, it's a double flip, right? So if I write my letters, I'm going to write them the right way around here instead of backwards like this. Because if I write them the right way around, then they'll be backwards when I go to carve. Does that make sense? All right, I hope so. But once you work this through a few times, you'll get it. Okay, and then let's see, there's one more method that you could use if you really wanted to. If none of these work for you, you can actually just use some scissors to go in and cut different sections of your little sketch. Let's cut this out really simply. And then I'm going to just lay this right onto the lino block here. And what happens is I end up with a little stencil. So I can do this step by step, little piece by little piece, to be able to draw, place this down, and then draw around it. Okay, so those are 3 different techniques for transferring your image. Ultimately though, I think you're going to want to do this in pen, so even if you transfer it like this with just the graphite, you're going to want to come back over and redraw. Okay, have fun.